final call. New leaders emerging, we're growing tall. From community life to human excellence, together we strive to magnify this great existence. Hey, it's the IWD 50 strong in a journey through the past where dreams transcend. From his wisdom we rise and we thrive, honoring the legacy, keeping hope alive. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. A cultural extravaganza, performers on stage. Come celebrate our story, help us turn the page. With every heartbeat, we work and play. In the spirit of unity, we chart our way. Hey, it's the IWD 50 strong in a journey through the past where dreams transcend. From his wisdom we rise and we thrive, honoring the legacy, keeping hope alive. So let's raise our production and let the world know Imam W. Dean's leadership will forever glow. Together we celebrate, together we stand. 50 years of guidance, we work hand in hand. Hey, it's the IWD 50 strong in. Together we'll shine, let the love never end.
Assalamu alaikum, Sister Rashida.
So let's raise our production and let the world know Imam W. Dean's leadership will forever glow. Together we celebrate, together we stand. 50 years of guidance, we work hand in hand. Hey, it's the IWD 50 strong in. Together we'll shine, let the love never end. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Alhamdulillah. Martha, Sister Martha.
That's all. It's the brothers on. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Walaikum assalam.
Okay, I can start now, sister.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to this week's
Walaikum assalam.
again. Welcome to this week's edition of the Halal Industry Do for Self. And we thank Allah that we're here for another week. Everybody, me and Brother Nate is right here, and of course we have Sister Martha, Sister Sherry, as always, coordinating things and making sure things are running smooth. And so we just pray everyone had a successful week. Everybody's has good health, family is good, and as always right here in Philadelphia, the work continues. Making the halal the standard, in long ways make the halal industry becoming into a fruition, making it real. That's going into our business and everything, that mindset of everybody getting the community, particularly the men, starting with the men, ready to see themselves as thinking, acting, and their whole character is that of halal, trying to instill that character, that way of life into all the everybody we come in contact with. Now, as is always, Friday, it's it's the main day in terms of worship for the Muslim. That's when we see the most see the believers on Zoom,
Uh-oh, you're breaking up,
then
Brother
there's always,
James. There you are.
you know, have things during the week, certain things have to be upkeep. It's clear now, is it, Sister Martha? Okay.
Yes, it's much better. Thank you.
Okay. So again, the work continues. Our Imam Wali Bilal, we ask everybody to keep him in your prayers. He had to go to the doctor today, but he sent us alarms, and so he's no doubt listening. So again, we ask you to keep him in your prayers and keep all of us in your prayers, but mainly Imam Bilal. See, he's the imam in this, and it was out of his wisdom and his eyesight to think about to start this halal industry. Yeah, that they allow how we should be, how the Muslims should be, yeah, mentally, spiritually, socially, business wise. The halal has to be at the base of all that. So again, we keep Imam Ayyub Bilal, make dua for him, his family, and just pray to Allah that He can keep us all strong. Because what's going on in the world today, there's a lot going on. As Brother Nate just mentioned briefly, here in the city of Philadelphia, we had the city workers. They went on strike. It mainly about trash, but it wasn't even just the trash men. People that man the phones when you call 911 for emergencies. People that work in the clerical department, handling claims for people. It was now the brunt of it, you see the trash, because that's the most thing hitting you right in your face is that trash. So the strike was ended. Ended yesterday. So praise be to Allah. Well, tomorrow's my trash day, so it's right on time for me. So they should be back on their regular schedule here in the city of Philadelphia. You know, some of those, some of us should remember. That's what brought Martin Luther King Jr. into Memphis, Tennessee, back in April 1968. The sanitation workers were on strike, and theirs was a lot worse. When here in Philadelphia back there, it was just like almost like in physical slavery. When it rained, the African American workers had to stay outside in the rain. They couldn't even come into the maintenance shop. And that's what happened. And what happened was to get out of the rain, two of the brothers they got in the back of a trash truck because they couldn't go inside of the shop. They let blacks couldn't stay there, stay outside. And this is April 1968. And somehow the back of the train, excuse me, the back of the truck ignited, and it crushed them to death. So that's what really. So they really had to go all out to bring all out pressure.
Well, that was for humanity.
Yeah. Yeah. So and that was so so again they bring in
Assalamu alaikum. Did you say they crushed?
yeah, they crushed to death, yeah, in the back of that truck.
What?
Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah.
Oh, Allah.
And that's when so they already was planning something massive, so they wouldn't. The leadership they reached out to Martin Luther King to come in, really talk about the sanitation workers in the human practices that they had to go through. So, and the rest is history. You know what happened then, and then he don't make it out of Memphis. So, it's cut over law, and it was, and so, but basically they were just talking about basic human rights, benefits, wages, safe working conditions, basic stuff. But we'd be surprised. A lot of people don't know actually the brunt of that stuff. That's how it was. It was just like it was this what happened here in the city of Philadelphia. We didn't have to go for nothing like that though, but there was just not only just fair wages and health, but just basic human civil rights. As I said before, they couldn't when it rained, they had to stay outside in the rain. They couldn't go inside the maintenance shop. So, but here, fast forward now to 2025, right here in the city of Philadelphia, the strike ended. So, as you know, the city had put up different sites where people could drop their trash off. But as always, it don't work that way. Then you find people that they can't make it to the trash sites, to the various dump sites where you can pitch your trash. So they hire people and then people get their trucks, and then for a pay, they go get the trash for people. And make a long story short, it's wound up being a mess out there. That's what it is. Because you have people out there, private contractors, they're just dumping stuff. They're trying to make money off of this. Whereas the citizens, the taxpayer, all thing we want is just our trash picked up. So, but a lot of band plans and law plans, and so far, law worked it out. The mayor, she got she's in their talks. They came to agreement. But this what I do know. If it kept on going, became a serious health hazard, they have to give it anyway. Then you got to go to the other means. You got to bring the law, and there's other means you got to get involved in, because it's an outright health hazard to the citizens. In the summertime, the smell, the bugs, all that. So break me till now, they came to too. You can't be playing. I mean, like it's my way on the highway. You got to come in with a negotiating mind. Some give and take on both sides. Now I said it because I'm a union man myself, and so is Nate. We come under labels local 332 here in the city of Philadelphia. So I know about the union work.
Labor issues.
Yeah, labor issues. As a matter of fact, when I was with the city back in the day, this is going back into the late 70s, Earl Stout was the union president. It was a strike then. But it got worked out. So it just shows that, when you that's what I mean, when you had that to go back to this that halal mindset. See, you can't have that my way or the highway. You come in with a humble attitude. You come with the willingness to talk and come to some kind of agreement, a fair agreement. You coming in just trying to talk and see how we can get fair wages and benefits, for our union members. The same man. So again, they came together. They came to some agreement. I don't know how much the pay increase they got. Well, whatever it was, it's something that was feasible for both ends. Because you don't want to burden the taxpayers with higher taxes. But at the same time, you do want a fair wage. So it's a give and take on both sides. Say, going back to the halal, that's what I mean. When you had a halal spirit, you got to be about for what's right, what's fair. Yeah. Matter of fact, you trying to bring about change for the better. And with this brotherhood here at the masjid here, it's an ongoing process here to have the process where the brothers where we can meet and talk. We still haven't had anything set up where the brothers can have a meeting and really sit down and begin the process. Right now we have just Juma, that's mandatory. That's the religion, But to get to make progress, though, we're going to have to meet more than just Juma, because Juma, that's the main day. Now, I believe that Allah could be, you can enlighten people, start the process, enlighten them during Juma, especially in the second part of the khutbah. You can address community concerns So that's still a work in progress. So nevertheless, so we still have to keep persevering on because we can't stop here. Just like today, we had some little trouble getting on, but still, you got to still got to stay fast. You got to stay the course. Be patient, and things worked out. It just when it comes to getting on this program, and we just blessed that we got Sister Martha and Sister Sherry. They know the ins and outs, so they like they like the backbone. I'm telling you, we ain't had them, boy, be some problems now. I'll tell you straight up. Yeah. But praise be to Allah, man. Those two are always here, and we can't thank them enough, for all that they do. And then we pray Allah to keep them strong, keep their families strong, and so they can,
I have a question, Brother
yes,
James, Brother Nate. Someone asked me about um, certification if they wanted to work in a shop that it had meats that were halal, considered halal meats. Is there a way that they can get certified? And I guess that's with Imam Wali Ayyub Bilal, right?
Yes,
yeah, I guess there's a way, yeah.
yes. And there's also a brothers up in Newark, New Jersey.
Newark, New Jersey.
Yes.
Newark, New Jersey. They usually do the most of the certification.
Okay, so we can contact the.
Yeah,
Are you okay?
Akbar Muhammad in Newark,
Akbar
New Jersey.
Mohammed.
Akbar
Yes.
Muhammad.
Yes.
Okay, okay, okay. I'll look him up and connect them with him, and then
Yes.
it can go from there. Because what we're looking at, as you all are speaking about halal industries, we're realizing that there are many professional individuals who have their masters. So the masters, my thinking right away would be if you're a master at something, you've received it, then you should be able to certify someone else. Uh,
Yes.
on like a what do you call it? The mentoring. It's another word.
We offer courses to get certified.
Yes, yes, because you
Yeah,
have the master's
yeah,
degree.
yeah.
Yes,
I've been trying to get them down here to do that. We still working on it.
Yeah.
alhamdulillah. Okay,
Assalamu alaikum.
alaikum assalam, Brother Muhammad Sharif.
Yes, that's Unity Beef. Uh,
Unity,
Unity Beef, Orange, New Jersey.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah, you're breaking up again.
What part of New Jersey again?
Yeah, Unity Beef.
Oh, excuse me. Can
That's
you
a,
hear me now?
you'll hear you better now, yes.
Okay, Unity.
Akbar Salam at Unity Beef. You just going on your computer and put in Unity Beef, Akbar Salam, and I'll take you right to it.
Okay, I got you, my brother. I saw that.
Walaikum assalam.
That's it. Yeah. So again, yeah. So again, so the work continues. You know what I'm saying? And right there, we get some help here. With the brother just came on with the proper.
Cleared it again.
Yeah.
Correct.
When he came on with the correct address, with clarity. So, and that's what this is all about. That's what when you're thinking and acting and allows that what you're trying to be, that's how those things come out. You really want to help people, and you want to try to, again, what the brother just done. He came with the clarity and the help. So that's what here and again, here what we trying to do now here instead of get that allow atmosphere here. Go starting with the brothers. Because they're the ones, we are according to what the law says, we are the protectors and maintainers of women and children. So we want to get that everybody thinking and acting halal. That's the base of your thinking, the very base of you living here. You know, you want to be what's pleasing. Everything you say you do, you want to make sure that it's pleasing to Allah. You know, So there's no other, and it's not. You're not trying to deceive nobody. You're not trying to. If anything, you want to be a help because that's what's needed today. Yeah. And so we as the Muslims, man, we got to take the lead because everybody needs help. Yeah. You just mentioned that trash truck. Excuse me, trash truck. Pardon me. The trash truck you just ended. Now some people got stuck like that, but elderly folks couldn't get their trash to the dumpsters. Yeah. So other people have to step in and help out. Yeah. That's just something basic right there, but it's something that has to get done because trash is a natural resource. As long as you got human life and animal life and plant life, you're gonna have trash. In the way getting around it. So with that, I'm gonna bring on Brother Nate and Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, thank you, Brother James. In Allah's name, the merciful, Redeemer. We'd like to thank everyone for coming forward and share their insight with us. I realize that we are one community, and when we appeal out to each other, sometimes we might have the words wrong, and somebody come in and correct us. Just like when we
Brother James, your mic is not unmuted. We can't hear you.
Thank you very much, Brother man.
Praise to Allah.
Alhamdulillah. Just like to, since we was on mute, I'd like to send my condolences out to Jahad Sangari. He lost his wife. Allah called his wife back the other day. And we just wanted to let him know that us here at the halal industry, he's been a very prominent person with us. And our heart and prayer goes out with him in this trying time right now. With that said, we like to just elaborate on a couple things. I was saying how we're around the masjid a lot and we come in contact with a lot of believers from so-called different associates. I call it one associate. You know what I'm saying? We just came in Islam from different directions. But our destination is always to strive to please Allah, get into His best interest. That is our greatest asset. Matter of fact, that is the one common denominator that's bringing us all together, that we all can identify with each other. Just like on Hajj, you got a lot of people from all over the world. And everybody relate to La ilaha illallah, Muhammadan Rasulullah. We all can identify with that. And that handcuffs everything. We can sit back and relax and enjoy the company. But we were sitting there talking about the direction. I myself, and we all, with the legacy of with Imam Muhammad, we came through the Nation of Islam, cleaning up our life, learning the religion. And then the other brother, they, as we used to call them, Hanafi, we used to call them here in Philadelphia, but they came from the spiritual way first. And the language will offset each other because it's just different in approaches. And I was explaining that we had to clean our life up. We had to prepare ourselves to deal with and accept the religion. Once we clean ourselves up, like I call it, took ourselves through a form of wudu, ablution. Then we was prepared as Imam Muhammad. We all took our shahada under Imam Muhammad, and we learned the religion. Now, I remember taking the chairs out of the temples at that time, putting carpet down on the floor. Then we started to learn how to pray. And I'm explaining that was our direction. And what we was after at that time, we was striving now to be a believer. We learned that learning the religion and seeing what we had to do to become a believer. We already became a Muslim once we get sat out. I remember in the temple where it used to be the sign, there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad was his messenger. Now we learn La ilaha illallah, Muhammadan Rasulullah, the seal of the prophet. So I said we was on the right course because when we went to the next step, the next stage, it was easy to adjust to it. It was easy to adjust to it. We didn't have a problem. We didn't have no major contradiction in it. We was already prepared to take the next step. And by us taking the next step, we had to take the good out of where we just came from and leave whatever we didn't need. Leave it back there. We ain't gotta bring those baggage with us. We didn't have to do that. We came on and took it to the next level. Now we learned how to be a believer. We learned how to what? To love Allah. We had to, that process we came through, we had to change that condition of our heart. We had to replace Allah. Replace this society and put Allah in our heart, not mankind or man as we was coming out. So, and I'm explaining this. This is the transformation that we had to come to. When we deal with each other, with our love through Allah, with Allah. So dealing with each other would not be a problem. If we love Allah, loving the brother, loving the Muslim, shouldn't be a problem, or wasn't a problem, or isn't a problem. And we strive, and we can work with him. We can sit down and deal with him. Now, when the brother comes from the opposite direction, they are telling me that we trying to make it to Jannah. We trying to establish the Sunnah. We trying to get as many barakahs that we can, so we get to the point to meet our Lord. I said, yeah, but look what we have to do. We have to clarify a lot of things that's behind us, rectify a lot of things that's behind us. James was just talking about the strike here, the trash strike here in the city. We have to be an example for those people and how to handle something like that. They are a service to the people. Should never have to put the people lives in effect if you're a service to them. You shouldn't have to do that. We should just show them, share with them how to go about doing all. This is what we have to do. This is where what we learn from the religion, we learn how to deal with people, us, mankind, and our kind. We learned how to do that. And we have to be fair and honest to the people. We have to have their best interests at heart. If you had their best interests at heart, being a service to the people, you wouldn't put them in a predicament like that where they have to suffer with the smell of trash rotten. Or what was it been, 10 days, a week, 10 days? But regardless, a service to the people. I don't mean being a flunky for the people. I mean a service to the people. And we are designed to do the right thing, to approach and get the best out of everything. Sure, it's about wages. It's about health, benefits. That's all part of the makeup within the union. I'm concerned about the welfare of the people and how everything affects the people, because the people, they're a service to the people. The people is the one that through their taxes make sure these guys can get paid. You don't never want to jeopardize the hand that feeds you, abuse the hand that feeds you. But it's all about money today. It's not about what Allah say or what God said. It's about man and his money and how much money he can get, so they can disregard the people. But they fail to realize that leaves a bad taste in the people's mouth. And it's going to be some animosity towards the city workers, you understand, because they action affected the people, stressed them out, and they're going to have to vent on them. We went through, I said last week, we went through the same thing with the transportation situation when they forced the people or forced their will on the people. The city with this strike, they forced the will on the people. And we know in Islam, there's no compulsion. You can't force your ideology on anybody or even on the people. You can't do it. And that mentality right there, we have your approach in dealing with the people, these sensitive situations. And I'm sure down there with the union, they don't care nothing about how the welfare of the people. All they're concerned about is what they could get from the city. I'm saying all this and stuff is that our attitude that we have created from being Muslim, our experience being Muslim, we should share that with the public. And I always say we share it by our action, not by getting on a soapbox, pointing the finger at everybody. We share it by our action. They'll go by what they see us do. They will emulate it, especially if it's good, especially if they can understand exactly what's going on. They're going to always take something that's good and take it with them. You learn from them. We learn from them. Allah made us different so we can learn from each other. Not to compete and huff and puff and fuss and fight with each other. It's to learn from each other. This is why it's important that we, by us practicing it, we establish a concept, the Muslim concept, having peace at heart. Everything is built around our heart, keeping us peaceful. We sit up here and look at society, how chaotic it is, because they got a heavy heart. They got to take that weight, get that weight off their heart. And that weight came down from all this stuff being forced on the people. And all we should know, that's all we get is force. You either do it or it's either my way or the highway, or there's always going to be some repercussions if you don't do it. There's no approach or fair approach to anything. It's always set up through confrontation. This is what we're up against. And we saying as in the halal industry, we can be very effective dealing with the people once we unite. That's the whole thing. I'm always talking about uniting. We have to unite in what Allah wants us to do. And if Allah never touched your heart, we have to do a little bit more submitting. Our whole destination is built around uplifting ourselves. Our condition changed when we changed the condition of our heart. When I first heard that term, I had to sit down and think about it, because I was sitting there and saying all this stuff that's going on. How did that have to do with our heart? And Allah said, you know, the same thing with the brothers that you told me when I was with the nation. If you're going to get anything, learn anything, you have to submit to the will of Allah. You have to submit to him. And once I submit to him, then I understood what he meant by changing the condition of your heart. Because you change. You change once you give some attention to what Allah wants. As Imam Muhammad used to always say, God's man. You have to work to be God's man. And in order for you to be a God's man, you have to understand how God works. He works through your heart. He said, approach everyone and everything with a lowly spirit, humble spirit. He didn't say come all arrogant. The Muslim is not the aggressor. He's the one strive for peace. And if he want peace, he has to approach it peacefully. And if he got a lot of stress and strain and malice in his heart, he can't come peaceful. That's how we had to learn how to be peaceful. I thank Imam Wali Bilal. He's been very instrumental in reminding us how to approach things. He used to always be out in the forefront. We're never the aggressor. Never come as the aggressor. You know, stay humble. Don't do to them what they do to you. Stay humble in prayer and don't do to them what they do to you. And if that's not enough to change that condition of your heart, to upgrade your heart, how you go about dealing with people, just approaching something like this trash strike, where there's a lot of tension, chaos, there's a lot of been fighting on picket line. That is normal. And we here in Philadelphia is a very strong union town, and we done seen a lot of picket lines in our days and what goes on and how it goes about. But it's all meant around how you approach it, not what you do, it's how you do it. We don't have no control over everything, but we do have control over how we can deal with things. And if we lead with what Allah wants first, then we can rectify everything. See, because we're going to have to we're going to become face to face with these situations, because everything is not changing. It's going to get worse. But we realize that we're more prepared how to deal with these things because Allah already showed us. He showed us in our action and how we dealing with one another. I'm going back there. I'm going through these things because I was still elaborating with the brothers that come from the Sunnah, as I say, direction first. Everything is built around Allah, the Hadith, the companion. Yes, I understand that. Everybody comes to the table with something. We can learn from everybody, but nobody got the best thing. The only one got the best thing is Allah. And we learn how to humble ourselves to listen to each other. They don't have a problem there. And we were showing them there's a difference. It's been a different approach. And then we sit down through shore, you share your idea or what's on your mind, how you can go about doing it. Because if we're going to unite, this is only how we're going to sit here and rectify things. We ought to be able to sit down and talk. Not argue, debate, talk. Talk. You talk about something, you put the purpose on the table, and we elaborate about it. And then we can come up with the best solution that's going to fit the situation. My way might not be the best way at the time. Somebody else's way. We go with what fits to correct that situation. We're going to continue to go through this because we're going to have interaction with people from all walks of life. We have a little bit of everybody come in the masjid, and they coming from different social backgrounds. But we have to be able to communicate, to talk. And the greatest thing that we can start everything off with Allah's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer. That neutralize everything, set everybody down, comfort, handcuff them, take the stress away from it. And this is a challenge for us, our people, the African American descendants of slaves, because we have a lot of malice in our heart that we have to channel that stress somewhere. We be sitting here trying to figure out why all of our blood pressure is always high. It's not always from the food we eat. Could be from stress. Dealing with each other, trying to communicate with each other, trying to rectify each other. That's why I was saying about on those picket lines back there, it was chaos. I seen it. There's a couple of people running over people with the cars on the picket line. The people stressed out. We had trying times right now. But I always say to combat that is that we have to approach it from a halal disposition, not a who's right and what's wrong. From a halal disposition. This is what God wants. This is not what I want. Hey, I lead with what Allah say first because I know He's in control of all this. He's still in charge of everything. And if He want us to do it, or if He want anything to happen, it will happen. We just have to stand up for the humanity. This is what Imam Muhammad, I heard him saying about going to jail. He don't have a problem, or he said he never had a problem going to jail for humanity, not for no stupid emotional thing, but for humanity. James talked about the trash strike down in what was that, Tennessee, James? Yeah, that was for humanity. That was because that was a attack against the man or attack against the people. Right. So that there, it's easy to stand up for humanity because who's going to benefit from it? Mankind. Of course, your kind. That's why I was talking about the strike. It wasn't for humanity. It was for money. I support it in its effort, but I understand what it is or what it was. or what the purpose was. It wasn't a purpose for the people. Sure, the people have to take care of their family and they got to do their job. But you have to look at what's behind all that. What's the purpose? What is the motive behind all that? And then you can make your decision how you want to deal with it. Same thing coming right back with the brother. Oh yeah, I'm worried about, I'm going to Jenna. I'm trying to do as much good as I can do to get to Jenna. If you already established and put a law in your heart, to me, you already got Jenna. You don't have heaven and hell, survive that on earth. This is why I was saying is look at what we're saying here. When it's time for us to go to Jenna, yeah, it's time then. You worry about it then. Getting a bad conscience to do what's right. As many bad conscience you can get to be right. Put a law in your heart. You're already right. You done made it to be right. Because you're going to lead with what Allah wants first. That is right. That neutralizes everything. Now, if you're looking at society, we're surrounded in nothing but wrong around us, and you fighting to stay keep yourself on board above water. I understand that. I can accept that. But we strive to establish what the law wants in our heart first, not when you feel like it. First, you submit to Allah's will. That's the road we came. That's the stand we took to get to where we at today. And we can always reflect back and know and understand the journey that we have took to get to here. They have the 50-year anniversary coming up with Imam Muhammad, for Imam Muhammad. And we can talk about that journey. We can go back 50 years to talk about from day one all the way up to the present, the trials and tribulation we had to encounter to get to that point. We had to come through a lot of madness. We had to experience a lot of madness. But we know, we can always look back and we know what not to do. Allah showed us all that. We know what not to do. We know what not to accept. If we strive for a halal atmosphere, I think we be on the road of nothing but pure halal. Pure halal. We should be accomplishing great feats from here on. Because all the things that could have stopped you from establishing anything is behind us now. Allah pulled us through all that, guided us through all that. We can sit back and know we understand where we just come from. That's why I said you strive and you have the heaven and hell. You live in heaven and hell, right here on earth. We done seen it. We done been through it. I wanted success that Allah promised. That's the what I know who get out of his way and let's support him. I ain't trying to reinvent no wheel. We just sit back and continue on what we want to do. I'm telling them about the halal industry. We want to establish halal among the people. I ain't worrying about whether the people are good or bad. We can see if the people are going to be good or bad. We can identify them, but we done been through it. We know when we see something bad, we know what it is. And we also know when we see something good. Brother say, how you see something good? I said, at the Eids. When we have set up the Eid after Ramadan, after the Hajj, they're the most peaceful atmosphere that you can ever encounter. I said, this is the peace that's Allah promised us. If we decide to accept, that's the peace. We had again that little incident that we experienced with a little bit of shooting. That did showed us the chaos, and Allah showed us how it happened. It's nothing that we've done something wrong. No, that was brought to us. We was already having a peaceful atmosphere when this little conflict came to us. And it wasn't something that we would say, oh, that is the grave error that we did. No, it's just something that we had to pay attention to. We have to give some attention, or had to give some attention to these situations so they don't happen again. A lot of people didn't come to the masjid for that. I'm not ashamed of what happened because we can go back. We was on top of our deen. We was on top of everything. We didn't do anything wrong. Wrong came to us. And we have to learn to handcuff it. And after that, once we took the break, now we know what to do from now on. When they come in, check everything. Check them at the door. Check them when they first get here. Right up front. That's what we learned from that situation there. We ain't sit there and went and cry and woe is us. No. You had to take it on the chin and keep on going. Appeal to what Allah is showing us. It ain't about our feelings and our emotion. It's about what Allah want us to see. And He bring things to our attention to elevate us, be able to take it to a next level. This is why I was talking about with the strikes and all that. We got to go to these union officials and city officials and explain to them how you represent the people. And you shouldn't be acting like that, representing the people. You representing it like you don't care about the welfare of the people. And the same thing with this situation we said about that little thing, that little incident at that end. They blew it out of proportion, of course. But I get the wisdom out. I want the wisdom out. I don't sit there and dwell on the pain. I don't dwell on that. I look at what Allah showed us. And through this strike and all that, Allah showed us who's the corporate behind the malice in dealing with the people. So we want to do a PSA, stop for a PSA. James gonna read some announcements. It's Nate Muhammad here to Halal industry. Do for self. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. American Muslim 360, the #1 Islamic radio station in the nation. Support Muslim Journal digitally or manuscript or both. Muslim Journal is 60 plus years in existence. Join us every Wednesday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for an edition of Halal Industry Do for Self with your hosts, Imam Wali and Ayyub Bilal, President, Founder, and CEO of Bilal's Inc. And co-hosts, James Bashir Nate Muhammad and Brian Ali. The interest of Bilal's Inc. is to establish economics for the African-American people, descendants of the slaves of America. This program is to encourage people to unite and to build economic strength, to establish community life by doing for self, to build the model community.
Thanks again, James. This is Nate Muhammad here, Halal Industry Do for Self. I see we have our professor just came in and eager to get on. Just have to holding back for a little second.
I'm patient.
Yeah, you know, I just still my mind been on this situation as far as dealing with the people, trying to bring the people back together. We have to have an identity with each other and all of us on the same page. And the greatest page that we can be on is the page with Allah's name. You come from, I hear what you about, I hear what you understand, I hear what you know. We have to pull all that resource and establish some form of structure for those to come behind us to continue on, pay, and that's it. No, we talking about preparing for the future. We looking forward to the youngsters to come behind us and pick up where we left off at. Just like with Imam Bilal. We the youngster with him. And he's going through his health situation. But we still here for him. We didn't lose a beat. We didn't leave no stride. We continue on. Yeah, there's a little bit of bumps in the road, yeah, ain't there? But at the same time, we're still here sincerely. Because that's what we established, and established in the oneness. When we go to work and do things together, you have to build that camaraderie through our sincerity. Everybody, all of us bear witness. La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. That's what brought us all together. What's going to keep us together is that we have to be sincere with each other. We have to be able to treat each other the way Allah say treat each other, not the way man say. This ain't no buddy playing. Oh yeah, that's my man from back in the day, from the neighborhood, and he can get to do whatever he wants. No, we here to do what Allah says, and everybody is responsible for their own deed or their own action. But if we appeal to everyone sincerely, that's all we want. We don't want, yeah, we need some money or to make sure we get it. Yeah, okay, we understand that. But we need sincerity first. That goes that goes further than whatever money can take you. Money is just one of the vehicles to help pay for the things that you need to do. That's all part of the charity aspect where we pool all our resources financially and to pay for whatever we want to do. Collectively, that's all part of doing for self. I say these because we was already prepared to deal with all this. It's just that the point is we have to recognize it and then we can utilize it. This is the whole thing about all this is working together. As I tell you, I worked in the construction thing, and we used to running a job, running a big old job. You got all the trade members, and we sitting here in the conference room doing a job meeting every week, plan each week, plan the next 2 weeks. What are you going to do? What do you got to do? What do you need to do? What is that? And then we can sit there and delegate who go first and who go last based on what the situation is with the job. I've seen that. I've been a part of it. I dealt with it. And we was always ahead of what's going on. That's how we moved the job, having direction for the people. You know, we spent the time before the job started preparing everything that we need, looking forward to it. Because then when the job, everything starts, it's like the curtains go up. Showtime. You got to show what you know. And we all set up there, and the guys. Then we dealing with men and everybody. As long as they was treated fairly and they can do their part, all of them was happy. That's one thing I got out of all that. They was always happy, as long as they can do what they did, and they did. And then when they get into trouble, they always gonna run into trouble because there's things that happen that beyond our control or beyond your control, and we have to be able to come together and amend things in order to keep everything moving, keep it flowing. This is why I always tell you, I sit here and I talk to the brothers, talk to the people, because I've been used to doing it. I don't have a problem talking with it. And we want to make progress. We want to do progress. We want to get things, make it happen. But we have to sit back and we have to talk with each other. We have to feel comfortable enough that we can disagree without fussing and fighting and going on temper tantrum. That's something that take a little minute to establish, but that takes established by being around each other more often. The most peaceful place out here to be is the masjid. I haven't seen no peaceful. You want to be away from all that chaos in the streets, in the society, in the world? Come around here in the masjid. That's the only peaceful place. The only peaceful place out here that I see that everybody can be guaranteed to get a fair shot, get a fair deal. Fairness is mandatory. Fair and honest, even if it's against yourself, it's you have to do that. That's why it's important that we can sit here and we can talk. And I was sitting here listening. Somebody said we can agree to disagree. No, if we disagree, we disagree. If you don't let it go on, we were gonna move as one, or let's not move at all. Don't give room for malice to start. Check it at the beginning, and let's go. Don't let things grow and breed and create an ugly scene. Now you got to get physical in order to rectify something. No, if you had to do that, we done lost. We want to be, as James said, be the example for the people how to go about to deal with their everyday problem. And we have the time to do it here at the masjid. You got the 5 prayers, always to keep everybody on their P's and Q's. This is important because our destination is to establish and build the model community, our industry. That is our whole purpose. You ever sat back and thought about how come you're a Muslim? How did Allah chose you? We used to say that when we was on Hajj. Allah invited us over to Mecca. We was invited there only because he said it's only on a lifetime. Once in a lifetime, we should make Hajj if we can. And once you made that amends to go ahead and do it, now you're a guest to Allah. Now He want to show you what He's all about, what He want to see through mankind. Everybody functioning the same way, participating, cooperating in all the activity. That is something for you to think about. So when you go about dealing with each other, we can put sometimes the pain and struggle we might have on our heart. We can put that aside until we can deal with it. It's very, very important we get control over our heart Everything starts with our heart. Matter of fact, your heart feeds blood all through your body. It pumps through your heart. That's why when the people you say, "Oh, Mr. Johnny had a heart attack," Mr. Johnny was stressed out, and how Shaitan got control over the heart. He got control over the heart first by implicating the flesh of swine. And then through all the byproducts from the swine, the drugs, alcohol, and tobacco, accumulated and all that, put heavy tax on your heart. Compound with the stress of everyday dealing. Took you right on out. Took you right on out. A heart attack. What we want to do is we want to eliminate all the unnecessary things, take it off your heart so your heart can move functionally the way Allah wants us to move, where we can deal with the other. It won't be a problem being fair and honest with the other because we look forward to it. And if we're all looking forward to it, we done started something new. Everything is moving in a direction pleasing Allah. Then we can be successful. Success coming. Oh, we got a hand up. Okay, we got a hand up here. Why don't you state your name and where you calling from?
Assalamu alaikum, Brother James. This is Muhammad Sharif calling from out around New York.
Hey, brother, how are you?
I'm doing great, doing great.
Hearing from you again.
Yeah, I know usually you open the line up, asking anyone having a question or comment, something like that, but you never open up. So
Not yet.
no one wanted to disrespect you and come in,
Well,
so that's why I wait for you to open the line up.
you know what happened too is that by them putting the hand up, they push the hand up. I'm looking for the hand.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll do that. I'll be glad to do it. No problem, brother.
Okay.
I'm with you. I'm whatever is gonna benefit us, I'm happy. Okay, we'll do that.
No, Akbar.
Yes, sir.
I know you speak a lot about the masjid, but you don't say which masjid, because I know there are a number of masjids in the Philadelphia. So which masjid are you speaking from? Because we got the anniversary coming up, 50th anniversary of Imam Muhammad's leadership. So which masjids are you speaking from?
Philadelphia Masjid, Sister Claire Muhammad School.
Where's that one located? What's that?
That's in West Philly. That's in Philly. 4700 block of Walusi.
That's where the Lincoln Pike.
Lincoln Pike. No, that's Masjid Allah up there, Lincoln Pike.
Right.
Yeah, Masjid Allah is sponsoring the 50th anniversary of teaching of Imam Muhammad. They sponsoring it, and everything is coming out through there. But they are planning to walk through Philadelphia Masjid, Claire Muhammad School. They are doing setting that up. So we still in cahoots with them and all.
Cahoots. I don't think you want to do that language. I don't think.
Well, we still hey, we working
alliance with them.
Okay, all right, we alliance. Just as Brian just said, we still in alliance with them. Okay, I can do that. Alhamdulillah.
All right, bro.
But they plan a walkthrough of the school, and I'll probably be guiding that tour. So we looking forward to that.
It was long before there was a Masjid Allah. There was a Claire Muhammad School. There was a Philadelphia Masjid, and they are actually an offshoot of the Philadelphia Masjid.
Yeah,
what they historically correct.
Yeah, well, that's all right. As Brian, we all been around here and seen the trials and tribulation and what we have encountered around here, and but we still here, and we still here, and we can tell our story, tell the story. You understand, and it's not with malice or nothing. It's just through experience, and like I said earlier, some things we learn. We know how to set something up, and we know what to do. and what not to do, what to accept and what not to accept. But we're looking forward to everybody coming in town to celebrate that aspect with us, because we will all be functioning and moving as one. We all will be. So it's a collaborating effort that we have to build that, to make that happen. And it's they up Masjid Allah, there are majority of the elder believers that been in the community for a while. They went up there. That's why I said we're wrestling or dealing with a lot of the younger folks coming through with different approach, different ideology, and try to through our experience and sit down and share some of our insight, our experience with them. That's what we do around here. We've been doing it, and it's constantly it's changing the atmosphere constantly. We establish our will, building everything around the oneness of Allah. It doesn't matter who come in, what come in, we'll have, or we can reflect our legacy with them, not on them, with them. We're not saying we better or we know this and that. We working with everybody. It's not about you coming in there to teach. Imam Muhammad told us before he left. He said, as long as we don't need nobody to teach us. We ain't got to go teach anybody. As long as we lead with what Allah says and do things ensure. Okay, that hand is another hand up.
I lower my hand. Assalamu alaikum. And thank you for the explanation, my brother.
Yes, sir, I appreciate it. And I look forward to hearing from you. And I'll reach out. I make sure I reach out and ask if any. Matter of fact, I do it now. If anybody else have anything to say, question, feel free to raise your hand, and we'll bring you on as soon as possible. In this moment now, we want to bring on our brother, Brian Ali, as I call him, the professor. He come in here with all kinds of notes and pages all sprouted out on the table. You understand? So we know he got something that he done laid out. So further ado, here's Brian Ali. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, listening audience. I want to thank the brothers first for allowing me one more time to come on one more day and express a thought that I had. Again, and once again, I have to change the thought that I had because something came to me actually last night, and I thought it was more prominent or more pertinent than what I was going to discuss. And it is, I think, in accord with what Brother Nate was talking about. And so what I want to say is that a friend sent me a text this morning, a very close friend, concerning someone who is, what would I want to call him? Well, actually, he's a leader. By his own accord, he's the leader of the Latinos for Trump.
Right.
Latinos for Trump. And they picture him holding a large, Trump 2024 sign. However, today, Mr. Hector Luis Valdez Cocho, if I'm saying that correct, the Cuban activist who had rallied others also to vote for Trump, was picked up by ICE and is in a detention center waiting to be deported. Isn't that something? Mm-hmm. All that effort, all that loyalty, and was rewarded by what? Being sent away as though he was just a common, ordinary nobody. As if he had not pushed himself and exhorted himself and his fellow Latinos and Latinas to vote a certain way. And here we are now stuck with the vote that they wanted. And here he is about to get sent back to Cuba. Wow. So it left me thinking, what would make someone go against themselves like this knowingly? Or are they actually doing it knowingly? Because it's not just our Latino brothers and sisters. There are Muslims who were approached and decided that they would also vote for Mr. Trump. Wow. A promise was made to them that said that they would end the war in Gaza. And they, hook, line, and sinker, swallowed the lie, as our father Adam swallowed a lie told to him by Shaitan. We should be aware that we have not yet learned properly how to seek or ascertain the truth a great deal. The word act, short for action, however, must be preceded by the word fact if we want to know the correct way to act. We must proceed first by learning what the fact is about what we're talking about, what the situation is, actually, factually, truthfully. We need the facts, we need the truth to act properly. When we act without fact, we often err. When we act based on a lie, we virtually are committing a sin because we are believing a lie. So we've acted before we've thought about our action, because the fact will make you think about how to act. The act cannot precede the fact. Many of us are proceeding with our acts without using our intellect to learn what the actual truth is. See, the actual fact of the matter will lead us to the truth of the matter. And the truth of the matter will make us act in accord with what's actually happening. What do I mean? I mean, you're hungry. It's a fact. What's the action? You eat. It's a fact that it's raining outside. What's the act? You get your umbrella. You get your galoshes. You get your rain gear. Those are facts. But someone distorted and disillusioned by the way things are going does not accept the facts as they are, and that person becomes a sniper going to an elementary school and is capable of shooting down children and teachers and NTAs based on what? There's no fact that they harmed him. There's no fact that they're part of a plot to harm him or anyone else. He's become distorted, and he acted before he had facts to act on. The politicians come to us and they want us to act. What's the act they want, Brother James? What do they want the politicians want you to do? Vote. But they're not giving you facts so that you can vote. They're giving you promises. Those promises are often lies. Sometimes they're telling you things that they're not even capable of doing if they win the election. They want you to act, vote, without the facts. The facts are, how did they get to this position? How are they now Senator so-and-so? How are they Congressman so-and-so? What did they vote on? What did they vote against? Who is backing them? When you get the facts, you will know how to act. All we need are the facts, and we can begin to act in the right manner. We have to ascertain the truth. Is that right?
That's right.
We're supposed to ascertain. Don't get the facts and then act without the truth. Use to take that and heed the instruction given to you in the Kitab of Allah. It doesn't make any sense that you try to act before you have all the facts. If you gather the facts and then analyze the facts, you will be able to act in accord with what's right, with what's proper, with what's sound, and the world will see a change, a reflection, and the truth will be easily discernible. Sometimes a day, it seems as though the truth is like finding or trying to find a needle in a haystack. How do you find a needle stuck in a haystack? But if that needle is the truth, if that needle is the truth, what can you do to find the needle? It's going to sound drastic, but set the haystack on fire. The hay will burn and all that will be left is the needle. If you destroy the lie, all that will be left is the truth. Ascertain the truth. Now that's a little bit of an way to find the truth, but check it out. That is a way to find a needle in the haystack, or the truth covered with hyperbole, with innuendo, or hypothetical scenarios, when in actuality, the truth is the truth. The truth cannot be distorted or lied. A lie may stand near the truth, it may stand behind the truth. So when you look at the truth or you look at a fact, the fact is there, but Shaitan is standing behind the fact, not with the fact. He is not dealing in facts. But when you see him standing behind the fact and you see the fact, you say, oh, it must be a fact. No, ascertain the truth. Find out the fact. Once you find out the fact, check its validity, because you need evidence to be truthful. It has to be proven. It has to be able to be proven. When a politician comes and makes promises, ask him, what evidence does he have that this will be the case? What evidence does he have that our voting for him or her will change the condition of our condition? Fact. We need government. I understand that. And we need politicians only because those are the ones who will handle and insert and place the policies that we need. The policies help us to govern. When things are out of sync, without order, if we get the right governance, we will get the right policy. We will get the right policy if those who are politicking have our best interest in heart. See, like Brother Nate said, if the heart is right, the rest of you is right. If the politicians have their heart in the right place, they deal from the truth. If their heart is in the wrong place, nothing they do will be right. If the heart is wrong, the whole body is wrong. We have to get ourselves back in focus, back in order, leading with our heart. That's right. What will clean up your heart? The truth will clean your heart. The truth will remove the stress that gave Uncle Bud, is it the heart attack? Yeah. He had a heart attack, but the stress he put on himself, because Allah never burdens you more than you can stand. If you have a bigger burden, it means you have a bigger faith, and your faith can withstand the trials and tribulations that you're going under. You just must know that, understand that, and cleanse your heart. With what? With the truth. Just cleanse your heart with the truth. You will beacon up the heart. Again, they said just where you establish your faith. Your spirit is moved because your heart moves you. Your heart will connect with another brother's heart because he has the same ideology and he has the same focus. Your sisters, y'all will connect with each other because you understand the same truth. And you have a strong heart. You have a brave heart. You have a compassionate heart. That's where we start getting on the same page. That's right. We don't have to agree to disagree. We know where we stand. Stand up for the truth, and it will cleanse your heart. Your heart will cleanse the rest of your body. The disease will leave because it is not comfortable in a body that does not allow it to replicate over and over and over. Once a disease can take heart or take place in your body, it begins to replicate and you begin to succumb to the dis-ease. But Allah opens your heart and puts you at ease. So now, oh man, I feel better. The fact is, you need or want health. What's the act? Exercise. Eat better. Reduce the stress.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor says you have a condition. That's the fact, Jack. That's the condition you have. What's the fact? What's the act? The act is take the prescribed either medications or whatever thing that the doctor has in store for you, whether it be radiation, operation, or maybe you just need to make a change in your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Clean up that heart. Let the light of truth enter you. If it enters into you, it can clean you up. It can ease your burden. Now you can lay down that burden that you put on yourself, because God didn't put a burden on you. You put it on yourself. He just wants to see if you're worthy of the title of vice chair over the earth. Made you from sounding mud and clay, formed and fashioned, and then he breathed his ruach into you and you only, and then let you know what the whole substantive value, what the knowledge that came with knowing every creature and the entity that is the Allah is the only one who could have done that for us. Are we grateful? I wonder.
Mm-hmm.
When we're told lies and told that these lies are facts, we must do what? Ascertain the truth. And when we find out that they're not, we must speak out and speak again with a compelling heart, with a compassionate heart, and with a brave heart, letting people know this is the way it really is. Don't believe the hype. Our brother Hector might not be in detention center right now if he hadn't believed the hype.
He didn't know that.
He didn't know any better,
Yeah.
but he was being selfish, trying to think that if I just do this. Listen, they say that the Republicans, all the ones that are in there and they're voting for these things, they say that they're afraid. They're afraid of Mr. Trump and what he can do to them.
What are you going to do? Expose him?
Said something that I believe is more profound than that. She said, they are not afraid of him. They are just like him. He is their leader. He is showing them what they can get away with. The reporters, unfortunately, are in collusion because they are gaining from what? This nonsense. They get to report it. Their sponsors love it because they get more viewership. The newspapers get to report it. It's a headline. They get more sponsorship. The entertainment shows get more sponsorship because they are what? Focusing on the sideshow, focusing on the clown show. But it gets them monies so that they're careful not to go too far. The politicians that are colluding with him come in and have a few $1,000s to their name, but by the time they leave the Senate, by the time they leave the Congress, by the time they leave these positions, which have pensions that go along with them, all of a sudden these are wealthy people. What happened? Where did the wealth come from? We know the salaries of congressmen. We know the salaries of senators. Where did the wealth come from? They were taken care of. You and I can't call Senator so-and-so. We can't get a meeting with Congresswoman so-and-so. The billionaires pick up the phone. And they say, what is it you want? What is it you need? I need you to vote this way on this bill on this day. Virtually what they're doing is virtually a part-time job. Most of the people in the Senate and the Congress have other jobs. They're lawyers. They work for law firms. They have other jobs. This is virtually, part-time job for them. Yet they are able to leave Congress, able to leave the Senate, able to leave the governor's office, able to leave these positions as men of means all of a sudden. What happened? We've got to understand and stop idealizing the people who have money. We don't know how they got the money. We don't know if they stole the money. We don't know if they inherited the money. Where'd the money come from? That's the fact we need to know before we begin to act on their behalf. Hector just acted on the behalf of somebody who could care less about him. And in fact, all the way while he's getting on the ship and going back to Cuba, they might wave to him, bye-bye, see ya. Mr. Musk, hundreds of millions of dollars promoting someone who then turned on him. What was wrong with him that he did not see the fact of who he was dealing with? He acted before he saw the fact of who he was dealing with. History is replete with turning against people who were for him. People who act without knowing the facts. No day should go by where you don't learn the act, or rather the fact before you do the act. Why are you acting this way? Why do you want to act in this manner? Is there a result that you're trying to get? Or are you just disturbed? Some people the act precedes the fact. Then I tendency, what can happen if you take this? The doctor says, here, take this. What will transpire? Are you aware of? Well, the doctor went to a symposium. He was flown out to Florida. He was flown out to California on vacation, him and his family. And the pharmaceutical companies put him up in a nice hotel. And they gave him free samples to give to his clientele and patients. Well, of course, if you got this and that wrong with you, he is going to do what? He's going to say, oh, this is what you need. This is the medication you need. Here, matter of fact, I got a few free samples for you. And they take the medication. Oh, doc, I felt much better. Oh, well, you got to go down to the pharmacy. Here's a prescription. Here's just a month's worth. And then until you get the prescription, until you get down into the pharmacist and realize that prescription is $100 a month. But wow, I need it. I felt better with it. And after about 6 months, you grow another head. You're like, wow, I wasn't counting on this, but at least I do feel better. I'm being facetious, but again, I want to implore us to not take it lightly that we are having individuals around us, and some of us are acting without knowing what the facts are, without knowing why we're acting the way we're acting, and then have to clean up the mess that has been made by these people who are acting or acting out and acting up. Children act up until authority comes, a parent comes, a teacher comes, and straighten things out. If there's no authority, they keep going and going until things get out of bounds and someone gets hurt, someone gets maimed, someone gets killed. Do we want to wait till that happens before we start to come in and police the situation or supervise the situation, or at least adhere to why we're acting the way we're acting? If you see the action of someone and you see it not grounded in fact, not grounded in truth, you'll know better how to deal with them. If they're dealing with facts, then you must yourself learn the facts that they got and charge them with, these are not There's no validity to what you're saying. There's no evidentiary trail to the facts that you're presenting before us. Ergo, those are not facts, but those are your opinions. We cannot or can no longer go with emotion, sentiment. We can no longer have our egos in the way of what we need to do, because what we need to do is what we need to do. If we wait, someone else may come and do it, but they're going to do it their way. So that's how you get someone saying, well, we can agree to disagree, because they have another agenda opposite or in opposition to your agenda. So Nate is right, agreeing to disagree. Okay, well, we agree to. Don't forget, if you're right, stay right. Don't try to join on with someone wrong to appease them. They try to coerce you. They try to intimidate you. They try to manipulate you into doing the things that are right for who? Not you. But you won't know until you learn what the facts are. You won't know until you learn what the truth is. If you won't ascertain the truth, they can poison your heart. The devil only whispers to you because he is close by. Why? Because he's getting you to do his dirty work. We wonder, how could the devil be so weird and so many people and all around? Just a whisper. Well, when somebody whispers to you, they're close. You can't hear a whisper from another room, but if they're close. But we have to remember that Allah is even closer. And we just have to listen. Not always with our ears, not always just our mind, but listen with your heart. The heart will lead you to where you need to be. The heart will show you the way you should be. And then you just need to follow that way. There are children who want to be like you. But if you don't show them the way to be like you, they will never be like you. If they see it, they can be it. But if they don't see it, they're groping. They're being led by someone other than you, reaching out in the dark. It's how our children get misled, misdirected, misguided. And then they act out without knowing the facts. See, the facts aren't really cool, man. The lie is cool. The lie is seductive. A lie is entertaining. Isn't it entertaining when somebody tells you a lie? Wow. That was fantastic. But it becomes gossip. It becomes innuendo, hyperbole. It becomes the things that cannot be grounded and that cannot stay grounded in you, because you understand and know what the truth is. The fact of the matter will lead to the truth of the matter. And once you have both the facts and the truth, and you have ascertained which one is the truth, you can act properly, you can act legally, you can act morally, and you can act rightfully. This is where your righteousness will come in. Right thinking, right acting, right mind. You're the right guy. This is what we got to go with. Who is the right guy? Let us all start trying to be the right guy. Let's all start trying to do the right thing. But first, get the fact and then act. Get the fact and then act. That will clean up a multitude of things that we're going through right now. It will clean up the chaos. It will clean up the confusion. I can see clearly now. The rain has stopped and the darkness will have disappeared. It's going to be a bright day once we do this. All right, now I've gone on longer than I intended to go on. I got caught up. I apologize, but I want to say that this was touching on my heart, and I hope it touched your heart, and I hope it means something to you. And with that statement, I will leave you as I greeted you with the greetings of peace. Assalamu alaikum.
As you just heard from Brian Ali, the professor. And you have to be able to sit back and give what he's taught, his talk, some thought and listen to it. You know, it makes sense. It's right in accordance with what we all always been talking about, especially about that uh, Cuban uh, person that supported President Trump and getting deported, or a lot of people here in the Delaware Valley here about, if you're looking for a headway, if you show you voted for him, he might give you some favors. It might be some favors. And no, no, it's two-sided there. They just want your vote. Yeah. Now you seen what we've been seeing all our lives. But with that, I can come back. We're going to read some a PSA real quick, and then we can elaborate back on that.
Support Graceland community in their efforts to educate on financial literacy and promote financial functionality while historical disparity are primarily amongst the medium low to no income persons. CWSC, Model Community National Resource Directory, the MCNRD, is where you can connect with resourceful people willing to dedicate volunteer hours to assist you in your efforts of nonprofit or for-profit interests. Individuals with more social concerns can connect you with our volunteer human resource network, CWSC's VHR. Information can be shared as to who, when, and or where to get the service you need. Join CWSC today. Go to CWSC. Do not forget to click on the blue donate button while on our website.
All right, thanks, Brother James. Again, here, this is Nate Muhammad, Halal, Industry Do for Self. I was just, as James was reading the announcements, I was just thinking about, our whole approach. Things that I might say, things Brian come to say. I could see the sincerity behind that we take time out to address this. And these are some of the things that we're constantly going through every day. We dealing with reality out here, and it's sometimes you might not sugarcoat nothing or whatnot, but it's real. And this situation that he explained about this Cuban brother and the Cubans, that was going on all over the country as far as gearing up, trying to get support for the president through favors. They looking for favors from him so they can be in the limelight with it or be in line with him. But they're not guaranteed. We all know that they lie. They've been lying for the longest. What we're trying to do is bring things to your attention that you can sit back and think about it. And nobody asking you to jump up and run through no wall for nobody. No, we just appeal to your intelligence based on what we see, what we're doing. Because if we're going to build a model community, we're going to have to be on the same page. We're going to have some form of togetherness. I see I got a hand up. The hand, state your name and where you calling from.
There's two hands up, Rashida and Michael Hamid.
Hey, you sound like him, brother.
Alaikum assalam. Yeah, I don't know, Sister Rashida's hand, her hand was up before I came on.
So, go ahead on, Brother Michael. Assalamu alaikum, you all.
My sis.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, I see the serious need for us to keep focus before we're made to keep our focus. It's better for us to go ahead before things become critical to the point where we know we have to act. And the more critical things become, the more likelihood of there be less sober-minded thinking among the group. So I offer this again, that the brothers need to come together, since we are seen as the the leadership, the societal leadership out in front, removing the obstacles and barriers so that the sisters can help us with their tools to build. But I think the brothers need to get to see who we are and what we got amongst us. Sisters also need to meet. I offer this in terms of what I'm saying. Imam Muhammad asked early on in his leadership, he asked the sisters to help the brothers, to use your God given abilities, what God gave you, to help these brothers out. Because we were not in a position to represent the leadership. There are a lot of issues. There's still a lot of issues. We talk more and we do less, and that's one of the major ones. In chapter 61 in the Quran, Allah asked the believers, that's men and women, why do you say what you don't do? That's the second verse in that chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you say what you don't do? And Allah sees that as a hateful thing, you know. Uh, so we need to get to a point where we see where this band that Allah talks about. Allah says that out of the Muslim group, that a band, a close knit group, something like special forces. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You've got the Muslim population, and then you've got the special group, a band. And it doesn't have to be one band, it can be a number of bands. But we've got to get better structure, and we've got to do more. Look, Al-Islam is the same as in Christianity. Charity begins at home and then it spreads abroad. We're being distracted by these things that are happening that we don't have any ability to control or do something about. The slaughter in the Sudan among Muslim populations, the slaughter in other places besides Gaza, in the Congo and various places. What can we do about that except pray? Uh, Also, we need those among us to identify who the people who are that are supporting these issues. What businesses are supportive. They target for this diversity, their rejection of the diversity. Well, we need to do some targeting in terms of not just diversity, but in terms of who are the business entities that are going against the interests in terms of Americans surviving and being able to have decent wages and have decent living conditions and so forth. We've got to be more what do you call it? More
Okay.
more focused, let's say. But I mean, there's so much, but this, we need to be discussing these things and eyeball to eyeball, seeing who is who, listening to the language, to seeing whose language is supportive. Or, we have, you got your showstoppers and foot
Brother,
draggers, you'll be able to eyeball them and see who's
Steve,
dragging their feet,
Brother Mike, want
Yes.
to make sure that we got 5 minutes, and I'm
I'm
on.
sorry. Thank you.
Peter can get on and she has something to say, and we can continue this conversation with you, next week.
Assalamu alaikum.
Islam, sister.
Thank you. This is Sister Rashida. I'm in Louisiana now, and I just wanted to share with you all a little bit of my day. Every Wednesday, we have a class on NAF, and the brother who was speaking earlier, he was so profound in talking about what we talk about in the NAFs is the levels of the NAF and our behavior. So today we use this book called Evolution of a Community by the Imam Muhammad group. And I just want to read something really quick, and it's 1975, Remake the World. It says, building on the best teaching of Elijah Muhammad, Imam Wardi Muhammad set the community on a course that would significantly change the direction of the community towards the truth of Al-Islam. He embarked on an evolutionary mission to shed the layers of concepts that weren't in accord with the teachings of Islam Holy Book. the Holy Quran and Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, to whom it was revealed. And to me, with just reading some of this today, revealed to me that Imam Wali Muhammad, and may Allah be pleased with him, even in 1975, he was telling us to remake the world and telling us how to remake the world. And it goes on another page. It says, in 1975, when Imam Wali Muhammad was speaking on the subject of men and women and their innate characteristics, he stated that women have the same intellectual and moral endowment as men, just being weaker to men only in physical strength. And then he goes on to say, we missed something being Bilalians. Imam Muhammad highlighted a part of Islamic history that would be a key reference point for the transition, the life of Master Bilal, an African-born companion of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Significantly, the way Islam changed the life of Bilal, taking him from slavery to a station of dignified human life, was emphasized. The phrase "call me Bilalian" was coined as a better self-definition for Muslims in the community, for African Americans in general. The name of the community paper was changed to Bilalian News to further the community identification with the term and concept. And I just wanted to share that because it seems like we just keep struggling and struggling and struggling. And it's good to struggle if we're struggling for righteousness. Mm-hmm. And in the class today, and I just want to say, Brother Muhammad, who was online in the class today, he mentioned your all program. And we shortened our program 30 minutes to get on your program so we could hear what you all had to say. And I'm glad we did, because you shared so much information with us. But I just want to leave it with this. Allah is the only way. And our intellect's going to tease us and fool us, and we can be smart as we want to, but if we don't turn to Allah in our faith, we're going to miss the mark no matter what we're doing. And I thank you so much, and I appreciate you. Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum.
Sister Rashida, we appreciate your comments, and we're looking forward to hearing from you more. We just like to thank everybody for listening with us today, and their comments was greatly appreciated. And hold them thoughts, and let's keep everything going the way we have it set up, because it got to be a continuous saga to maintain and to remind the people, as well as remind ourselves, all that we have to do. Brother, always speaking about always the brotherhood. Yes, we've been working on the brother, but that is we'll come back next week with that, because we're running out of time here. And we thank Sister Martha and everybody, AM 360, for being there for us, to give us an avenue where we can share our wealth, our experience with everyone. So with that, until next week, we greet you with peace. Assalamu alaikum. This is Nate Muhammad, James Bashir, Brian Ali, the Halal industry. Do for self.
Wa alaikum assalam. Hold on to the rope.
Will do.
Alaikum assalam.
Yes, ma'am.
And certainly, alaikum assalam. Thank you all.
Wa alaikum assalam. Thank you too.
We'll await Khalida Akbar with Narrative Aspirations. We won't interfere with her time with the promo for IWDM 50. Just reminding everyone, tonight is a meeting at 9 p.m. If you have the Zoom information, we sent it through email, but inshallah, if you don't have it, we can send it out again. Inshallah.